welcome to Live from the Laundry Room, where we check in with some of our favorite education partners. We see how their students are responding to COVID-19. We're seeing how they are responding to COVID-19 and checking in with their campus to see how things are going, where they're at. So my name is Jesse Turner. My co-host is Mary Lauren Gardner. And we are welcome today. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Cissy Holt from Columbia State Community College. First, tell us, how are you doing in the era right now of social distancing? How are things going in your neck of the woods?
Oh my goodness. It's been interesting. I have moved in the midst of this chaos, so I've added to it, but um, it's been amazing. Really, I let my folks know that I think that we've all relocated operations versus just closing down a campus. So um, it's been amazing. I really miss my students, our coworkers. I didn't realize how much I got up and moved around at work,
Mhm.
on campus. Sitting in a chair in meetings all day can get a little old, but we're all hanging in there, making the best of it.
Well, that is good. And I guess that leads me to my next question is, what is the state of your campus? I'm sure that you guys have closed. Is there any end date in sight, or are we just kind of following the protocols of Governor Lee and President Trump as to how long the social distance? Do you guys have any kind of end date in sight for that?
We don't. Initially we were going to reassess April 6th. That was the
Mhm.
date that, Governor Lee had put out there.
Right.
Um, Again, now we're through April 14th.
Okay.
I really think that we will go longer than that as far as keeping our campuses inaccessible, but we are considering, students who are in classes that require hands-on clinicals,
Okay.
labs, that type of thing. So, Tennessee Board of Regents has done a wonderful job leading us through that. There's several other community colleges and TCATs that are in the same boat as we are. And so, but right now our campuses remain closed and will remain closed. There's a few essential folks going in, checking on facilities.
Mhm.
Um, we are having students um, arrive on campus. All of our campus locations have Wi-Fi in the parking lot.
Oh, good.
It's Yes, so Clifton, Lewisburg, Lawrence County, Williamson, and Columbia, there's a variety of parking spaces that, students can come in, log into the Wi-Fi network. And so that's one thing that we're giving students in our resource center is our places where they can access Wi-Fi and hotspots. But
Wonderful.
yes, but currently we are closed. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you got to keep safe in this time. And you talked about having online in the parking lots. That's amazing. That's what we're also checking into is how your students are doing. I know this is not what any student started off the semester hoping was that they would move everything online, but we're all having to face that transition. How are the students responding to that? Have you been able to hear from any students that like it, that are needing extra help? Like how are your students responding to the online transition?
Oh goodness, we're getting all kinds of responses. When Dr. Smith, our president, when she sent out her letter to students, letting students know this is what's going on, attached to that was a technology assessment form where a student could let us know if they had access to a computer, to a smart device like a phone or tablet, and if they had access to the internet.
Oh,
So
very cool.
yes, and so students started reaching out to us pretty quickly to say, hey, I may have a computer, but I don't have the internet. So those students are being communicated with individually by a staff member, and we're trying to lead them into thinking of areas where they can have internet service. A lot of our students just seem to have forgotten that we did have those parking lots available for them. It's not the most ideal thing, and I even had to use it in the midst of this move. And it was during one of those monsoons last week, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is insane, but it's still an opportunity. We've had partners in some of our other counties where we don't have campuses. Hickman County, Perry County, Lewis County, Giles County. They've all given us places in those communities where students have access to Wi-Fi.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
how to access it. So we've had folks reaching out to communities, reaching out to businesses, saying, hey, can our students come to say to the McDonald's parking lot and use the Wi-Fi there? Um, but for the most part, our students seem to have a their biggest problem seems to be internet access. Some of our counties are extremely rural, so they're not going to have the access at home. So we're looking at opportunities there that maybe we can support them. So we've had staff members meet students with laptops. We've had them meet. We'll possibly be meeting them with some hotspots at some point. It's just hard to locate those right now.
That's right. I know a lot of places are assessing what resources are even available, which is not something that we've had to assess before. And then, of course, we know that that's changing rapidly daily as places are closing or lobbies are closing. So it's really neat that you guys have put together some lists for your students. I know those rural areas are really impacted by that. Something else we want to talk about is not just how you guys are responding this semester. We as college professionals, we always have to look towards next semester as well. And our seniors at home sometimes aren't as focused on next semester, especially with this kind of, large break from school. Tell us how you guys are getting pumped and ready for next semester. Orientations getting riled up. Are you guys getting ready to start registrations? How is next semester looking for you guys?
Oh my goodness. Not only have we had this to deal with, but it seems like this semester has flown. But having to change on a dime, we're so excited. We're still on go for everything we've had planned. We've
Sure.
just changed the format. We are still processing applications daily. We are still receiving transcripts, getting those processed. We will start registration for summer and fall on April the 6th as scheduled. So currently enrolled students, including dual enrollment students that have reapplied as first-time freshmen, can actually enroll on Monday and Tuesday of next week if they've met with their advisor. All of our students are required to see an advisor for their first enrollment and their second time.
Mhm.
Enrollment, that'll be in the fall, but we're even advising virtually. All of our college success advisors are setting up appointments through Zoom. They're doing it by email. They're doing it by phone. We've got some folks that are becoming experts at Google Phone, which has been amazing. So they're advising. Orientation for the month of April will definitely be online.
Right.
Students can sign up for it as well. We use a platform called Navigate that if a student logs into ChargerNet, they can log into it, and that's how they sign up for orientation. It's how they sign up for their advising appointments. They can even start their own little learning communities in
Oh,
that, and there's also some to-do things that will remind them. Also, next week, we're going to start communicating with students about their financial aid for 2021.
oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very excited about that. We've got things going as far as getting all those ISERs downloaded, and students will be able to go in, see what they lack, and go ahead and complete those financial aid files.
That's
Because
right.
that tends to be a huge amount of angst for our students, but we're trying to be on top of it
That's right.
and
And they
get
have
it out there
time
for
right now.
students.
So that's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
So, Miss Cissy, I have a quick question. So, you were talking about registration opening up for your current students next week. So, those future freshmen that are trying to get ready to start in the fall, when can they sign up for that orientation? When is the orientation available? And then when will they get to register for those classes?
Absolutely. If they have already, and quite a few have already met with their advisors for next year, they'll be able to do it on April the 8th, on Wednesday, if they've met with their advisor. Now, orientation holds will not keep a student from registering. It's just the advising hold. So, but when they get into Navigate, they can select some dates and make an appointment to attend those registration and orientation dates. And so it's if they've been fully accepted, and we've got quite a few students who have. So, but they can go ahead and do that today if they wanted to.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
is great. That is perfect.
Yeah.
I wanted to take just a moment for you to kind of speak directly to your students. If you had a piece of advice for any of your students right now as they're working on this online transition, anything like that, what kind of message would you like to send out to them to let them know that we're still working for them? You guys are still caring. What would you like to say to them?
Oh, absolutely. One thing, the most important thing is, other than staying at home and washing your hands well, is that you need to stay connected. Um, all of our employees, from our staff to our faculty members to our leadership, we are very much accessible these days. You can email any campus, you can email any office, you can email me. My email is rholt@columbiastate.edu. And you can also email me at studentaffairs@columbiastate.edu. And my phone number that I can be reached at is 931-292-2805. And you can text that number as well. I tend to text quite a bit, so that seems to work well with students. But
That's
I, I just recommend students to stay in contact. If you get stuck on, something in your online course, absolutely reach out to that faculty member. I really have to applaud those faculty members and our staff who absolutely came together. We planned, we met, we looked at all of our resources and said, oh my goodness, how can we make sure that our students are successful? And the amount of work that happened in the, last week and a few days in the week prior was amazing. And it was, I mean, I almost cried when I left campus on Friday night last week because, oh my goodness, they just pulled together, and it was solely to meet the needs of our students and to make sure that they were going to be successful. And we have people who are calling students, checking in on them if they have not accessed their course. As well, we've developed an online alert for those students faculty can put out there. And we're also, none of our student support services have weaned away. We're doing telecounseling for our students. Our Disabilities Resource Center, they're reaching out to students to make sure everything is remaining accessible. So it has been a truly incredible experience from a staff and faculty standpoint, but we're doing this so that our students are successful.
That is awesome. That is awesome. We appreciate you sitting down with us. I do want to throw in a surprise segment that I think would be really popular among our quarantine people at home, our social distancing. And that's a segment I'd like to call, "What are you doing on quarantine?" And I would really love for Mary Lauren, my co-host, to start us off and let us know what she's been up to, a couple of new hobbies that she's been doing to kind of stay sane. Mary Lauren, why don't you start us off in this segment of "What are you doing at home?"
Thanks, Jesse. This is Mary Lauren coming live from Wayne County. Jesse wants to know what I've been doing on quarantine. These are two new hobbies of mine. I built a Lego Iron Man. I've also got a Lego Harry Potter now. And my personal favorite, diamond cross stitching. Look how pretty.
Oh my goodness, I'm so impressed.
I will say that we are not sponsored by either Lego, Iron Man, Harry Potter, or the diamond cross stitching.
Not yet.
That would be awesome, though, wouldn't it?
Not yet.
We are open to that, though. Yes, I agree with your Lego stance. I do want to show off something. I am not only working from home, but I'm also doing a little bit of homeschooling from home. I have a 7- and a 4-year-old. And so something to keep them preoccupied, of course, is Legos. And I challenged them last week to build a restaurant. And so this is what he came up with, is a dinosaur-themed restaurant. That's why there's a head there. They're eating. There's a little bit of security camera. So that's kind of our Lego adventures. And then everyone says when they have more time, they'll get to their photos or anything like that. So I have started a scrapbook of my family's latest vacation, trying to get pictures and memories all put into there. This is a real test now to say, I'll do this when I have time. Well, now we have the time. And Miss Cissy, I hear before we got started, you said you were collecting lamps in the background. Is that right? Or what?
Absolutely. If you can see this mess behind me, this is my new office. I've been here less than a week, and we have moved after 25 years. And yes, and I too am trying to homeschool. She's 13, and I think I put her awakened just about an hour ago. So, I may be failing on that point.
No, I completely understand, because at least while everyone's sleeping, you can get a little bit more work done, a little more quiet. And I'm glad you moved during such a pretty time of year. I know there's been so many sunny days in a row here in our part of the city or the
Yeah.
town that we're in. So I know it's probably been beautiful where you are. No rain at all, right?
Well, that's been very interesting in itself. And I will just warn you, for those of you, if you've not moved in 25 years, it's amazing what might pop up out of a drawer. So um, especially if you've had grown sons who've moved in, brought their stuff, moved, and then you've had to move it as well. Oh my goodness. It's been quite interesting. So
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, Mrs. I appreciate so much you joining us today,
absolutely.
checking in. We'll let you get back to it. We just
Mhm.
wanted to check in with some of our favorite education partners and see how everyone's responded to COVID-19. We hope to do this again. If we are still social distancing, we'll check in a few weeks after your registrations
Perfect.
and presentations have really ramped up and see what kind of new updates we can get from you. Maybe a couple more lamps in the background as well is what we're hoping for. You know, those
That's
things that we can show, all of it.
That's perfect. Absolutely. Check back in. I have loved talking with you guys. I love working with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everybody stay safe and wash those hands and have a great rest of the day.
Absolutely. Bye.